What's with all the blood? I got into it with some strung-out junkie.
All that matters is you're safe, my friend.
What? I'm not falling for it.
Try to keep your eyes open until the very last second if possible. No! Wait till the last nanosecond! And once you feel all hope is lost and you're certain to die a ghastly death and all you can think is, stop, please, I can't take anymore! Wait 1 second longer, then close them.
Enough already.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video, another case study of an anime that we have. Imagine living in a city that is so bad that it makes Gotham look like a playground, and that place is New York, but with aliens and vampires. I mean, it's not too bad. Aside from the daily city explosions, the human body trades, giant beasts, crazy exes, and last but not least, an entire underground world. So yeah, welcome to New York City. Now, New York had some weird magic barrier open up, and the other world started invading the city, and the only way that this was fixed and the entire planet wasn't destroyed is because it was closed, which can be done by people having magic-like abilities, which is a very important thing for later down the road because it ties into a character who indeed was playing a double agent. But that also leads to my other point, and that's a group called Libra that protects over New York. These are the people that are capable of closing barriers if it was ever needed again. They are basically the Avengers of this universe, and this man would be Captain America's twin. This is the leader of Libra himself, the one and only man named Klaus, Mr. I'll go get it done myself. This man was pulling up on Eternal Beast and getting the job done, which brings us to our main character, Leonardo. And this man, of course, just in typical main character fashion, was super lame.
Oh no, I'm gonna be late for work again. I can't get fired. How was I gonna afford that Discord premium for my Discord get-ins?
Did two missiles just blow up behind him on a random Monday afternoon? Yes, you guys thought I was joking around when I said this place is worse than Gotham or even Avengers levels threats? But let's roll back just slightly. Yeah, right here is a perfect spot. As Leonardo was running after his camera that was stolen by a monkey, he ends up running dead smack into a robbery.
It's time to make things go boom boom.
Which is exactly how we end up running into our first member of Libra, Zap.
Yo, kid, ain't no way you almost just scuffed up my new kicks. Do you have any idea how much these shoes cost, pimpin'?
I don't know, maybe?
Too much for your broke self to be touching on my drip. Now get your hands off of me before I start placing hands on you, twin.
Now, our boy Leonardo was actually searching for Libra because he needed some questions answered. And there's no better place to go to other than Libra themselves because they have the most information about the underworld and the crazy that's running around. So Zap ends up bringing him back to the Libra base, and this lady's name is Chain. Now, remember how I said this place is just like Gotham? Well, they even have their own version of the Riddler.
Ladies and gentlefish, hello. It's been such a long time since I've come up here to terrorize the city. You guys missed me? I know you had to. Remember, guys, I'm not crazy at all. I'm just doing what I've always dreamed of. And you don't want to take away a man from his dreams, do you guys?
So the bank robbery from earlier was actually because of this guy, and he planned this entire ghost thing to come out of this man's body and start raining terror on the city. Yo, I could not be a cop in this city. It generally might be worse than the GTA 5 lobby.
But you guys know what time it is. It's riddle game time. I planted ghost bombs inside random people around the city.
He did that, boy, when he blew up my favorite burger spot.
It reminds me of the time I blew up this dude's burger shop and he was screaming over and over again, "No, my Sheila!" What a lame. But bombs are coming. Bye-bye.
And literally the monkey Leonardo was chasing, a ghost monster came out of it and eviscerated the entire side of the building, which leads to Leonardo telling them about his backstory and how he obtained these all-seeing god eyes. Bro is basically Gojo in the flesh. Now on this day, Leonardo and his sister were just minding their business. You know, a regular day in New York. Probably was watching AMP vandalize the entire city. But then out of nowhere, a giant alien monster comes out and asks them to make a choice. I generally don't even understand this type of luck. A giant alien just comes out of nowhere and forces me and my sister to make a choice of either one of us takes the eyes and then the other one has to die?
Yo, big dogs, I'm not gonna lie, it is a horrible day for you guys. I've been going around dimensions and stuff, giving out these eyes and messing up people's lives. But like, I give them the ability to see stuff better. Like, imagine out of the infinite amount of dimensions, and I come and ruin yours? Yo, that's crazy, big dog. But yeah, who's about to die?
And long story short, he got blessed with the all-seeing eyes, and his sister got packed up. Rip sister. You almost lasted an entire episode. This leads to Klaus saying he would let him join Libra if he proves to be useful, right after he started flexing on him. So Zap and Leonardo go chase down the monkey because it was the barrier that was letting in the ghost monsters that were destroying the city. And this man Zap wasting no time showing going out and attacking a monster that was attacking a monkey. Because if it killed the monkey, then the barrier would break and bring in even more monsters. And this is when I started locking in because the alien started regenerating and Zap had the stun on it again, sending it into the shadow realm before we finally see Leonardo use his eyes. And this man zooms in on the tick that was a true barrier. He ends up destroying it. Now Claus had ordered Zap to keep a close eye on Leonardo, so he ended up following him around the city while he did his Pizza Hut job. That's when they pull up to a van, and of course on the outside it looks normal and like a dry clean business, but Leonardo's eyes can see right through the disguise, and it's actually humans getting packed up like sealed meat vacuum. Oh my goodness, this is the exact moment my entire perspective of this anime changed. At first I was like, okay, this is nothing I really care for, but then this scene happened and I was more invested. So then the alien looks over towards him and Leonardo instantly keeps driving.
Don't look back, don't look back, don't look back. Just keep going and pretend like you didn't see a giant alien guy moving human bodies around the city.
And the alien literally takes out Zap's entire arm. Hold up, Zap. Don't tell me you are a sorry character. Let's just give him the benefit of the doubt and say they snuck him.
Yo, Leonardo, make sure to tell everyone he snuck me, twin. I swear they knew to jump me.
Yeah, Leonardo ended up getting captured, and look at the humans they have packed up fresh and ready to eat. And the dude who created the high level illusion, because I don't know if you guys know, but literally no one but Leonardo could see through that illusion, besides probably a character that we don't get into until way down the storyline.
Well, boss, it seems that the boy has got kidnapped by aliens. Damn it! Was Zap out fighting homeless people again?
No, boss. It seems like this time he got jumped. At least that's what his tweet says. So aliens or whatever they are, I'm sticking to calling them aliens. But they end up figuring out that he has all-seeing eyes, and that makes this nasty, ugly blob of a thing even more happy. First things first, this thing wants to dissect this man. Like, big fella, you not stocked up enough? And second, how is this thing talking with absolutely no mouth? So Zap, even though he was KO'd at the hospital, he was using a very thin line of blood to attach to the vehicle and track it. Dang, I'm not gonna lie. One day, you're just running across the road, barely dodging missiles, and then in the same week, you're getting choked out by a man with 2 fingers and a thumb. But look at how the butler is pushing the whip. Look how clean they look. Oh nah, they must be feeling like me and Nantonics when we start floating on the road. Oh, and Leonardo locked in using his eyes to tip over the alien ride, and this gives them the exact location as Chain starts to follow the trail at crazy speeds. When I watched this scene and I heard the music, I got the same feeling I did when I first watched season 1 of The Flash. Absolute peak. But the whole team pulled up like SEAL Team 6. I mean, look how he's whipping the car. And they end up dealing with the monster. Oh! And this leads to Leonardo to be in the hospital for a little bit. He ends up meeting a girl in the cemetery that introduced herself as a ghost. Now, at first, I truly believed this girl was a ghost, but then certain things happened that kind of made me think she was fully human. But I'm going to let you guys be the judge of that. This is White, or aka Mary, but we will stick to just calling her White for right now.
Rise and shine, filthy human. I've moved in some other residents and I sold off this entire lot. So you have about 5 seconds before I call in the Galactic Patrol to orbital strike you right now. Thank you for your cooperation.
And this brings us to Leonardo having to live at the Libra headquarters. Now, Libra has been dealing with these mutants that have been transformed from a drug called Angel Dust, and they are slanging this out on the street. It was like the second coming of the 90s again. Claus ends up telling them that he has to go into contact with another member of the team, and the only way that they are going to be able to get the information on Angel Dust is by going to the underworld and talking to the man that has the most information on the underworld. First, meet KK. Second, look at just a very small portion of how the underworld looks. The worlds are like a Horizon 5 Hot Wheel DLC. And then third, have you ever played chess with your life on the line? So yeah, so Claus and KK pull up to a place where it's this all-knowing chess master entity that lives here, and they end up running into one of the greatest chess players in the world that wanted to challenge the entity. And this thing's name is Don. I mean, ew! Look at this thing. And don't even get me started on this thing, strong, wide body, Hellcat shoulders looking thing. Now, Claus and Don have had run-ins with each other before, and the rules with this man are super simple. Beat him in a game of chess, and he will tell you any information about the underworld that you need to know. But Claus knows that this information comes at a cost and tries to warn the man.
Stop speaking to me, you insolent fool. Why would I take advice from a man with a beard as ugly as that? I'm the best and most handsome chess player to ever exist. And plus, I beat some fool earlier today.
Very well. Then, human, I accept the challenge.
Before he goes in, Klaus tries to warn him to not even attempt to checkmate him. So the man asks for nuclear weapons for this city and for Don to kill Klaus. So he tells him his request will be worth 9 hours of playing time. And of course, this man gets cooked and Klaus ends up making a deal with Don so he doesn't kill the guy. So Don is like,
Of course, I will spare his life. But only if you play me 99 hours.
And now it's time to throw a flag on the play. Did this man say 99 consecutive hours of playing chess with your life on the line? But of course, our boy Klaus got that dog in him and ended up surviving for the entire time and getting the information on Angel scale trade routes. Have you guys ever seen a vampire in real life? Well, neither have I. And apparently, while Leonardo was on the subway, he ended up running into one, which made me really suspicious of this person because the way he was explaining it to him, even if it was ever so slightly, it kind of sounded like he knew a little bit too much about them, which Leonardo brings up to the group and they all instantly lock in because I'm pretty sure vampires are like a high tier class of danger. Klaus explains to him that his eyes can see certain auras and vampires have a bright crimson color they emit. And ladies and gents, meet the man they call Lucky Abrams. This makes sense though, because if you really sit and think about it, if you are so lucky, then that means everyone around you has to be less lucky. For instance, let's break down the theory. Play the film. A giant truck and a random sheet Tyrese shoulder into the entire truck exploding, which leads to a piece of glass flying right into Zap's head. But Lucky is all good. The truck driver is for sure dead, the giant random alien is for sure dead, and the people on the block are for sure traumatized from seeing an explosion happen in front of them. And last but certainly not least, the glass stuck inside of Zap's head. So Lucky explains to Leonardo about the vampires and basically the only way to kill them is to know their name and seal them up. They had one encounter with the elder vampire. I think it was number 13, but it took out 2 elite battleships and countless soldiers, and this piece of paper was all they had from it. And Leonardo starts using his eyes trying to find out the true identity of the vampire, and it ends up sending his eyes into overdrive. But instead of letting him rest, they go to the heart of where the vampires live because he wants him to tell them how many vampires are living down there because they only know of 13 right now.
Yo, what's going on YouTube? Today we got this a team of Libra who will uncover history and blah 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 blah. I've done these a million times and every single time the subject died. Okay, Leonardo, good luck.
So he uses his eyes to look, and literally it was hundreds of more vampires that have been multiplying constantly. And the way that one vampire tore them up, what will 100 more do? Now apparently 2 vampires popped up in the subway and were cooking the police force, which forced Steven and KK to pop up. You can't even have 2 side characters pop up without hearing a little huss pose. Steven makes the first move, leading with a kick, as KK uses her gun to blast a hole into her entire eye. But that did nothing because the vampire just one-taps them and then makes them lose all of their life points.
You think you beat us? You think you could just do one move and get us packed up? Well, I have to let you know. I know you hear that theme music.
Before Klaus shows up and packs her right up, using her name to sue her. See, they had to use a train from the underworld to speed blitz to them in the subway. And look how Libra came out of the subway. They are not slick. Why is everyone looking away from the camera except for Klaus? Who knows we can't see his eyes because he's using a sun-kissed R farming technique. Let's focus on the person on the train for a quick second because not only did he hint that he might know about vampires to Leonardo, but he also knew who White was. Now that I'm thinking about it, some backstabbing is about to go down. And I have more than enough anime and life experience to know to not just trust a random girl that introduced herself as a ghost. Ghost of what? Sparta? As Zap and Leonardo are going to get some food, a giant truck comes out. I'm like, yeah, that's a really big truck. And then an even bigger hand comes out and smashes it, and a giant monster starts chasing them.
Yo, big dog, we are getting chased by a monster vehicle, calling the boys. Did you hear me? I said we are getting chased by an entire squad, twin.
Yeah, that's a big monster. Well, good luck.
This lady is the culprit behind all of this madness going on right now. So let's run this down really quick on why this lady is on the cuckoo charts. First, she's driving a monster terrorizing the city all to get her boyfriend back, who is this guy. And this guy isn't actually the boyfriend. It's the blood inside of him that's the actual boyfriend. But she thought he was too ugly, so she drained all the blood out of this man and put this man inside of him. Now she's coming to take back him to terrorize him even more. And Algora also has Leonardo as a hostage because he fell off the bike. So as they are running away from her, she ends up catching up with them and tracking down Hummer and Brody. And he went straight into action, transforming him into the monster. Yeah, this ain't do a lick of damage as he gets sent flying across the city. They end up coming up with another plan as Leonardo uses his eyes again to redirect the monster, and Steven uses the ice to freeze the wheels as Klaus sends it flying in the air. And as it comes in, they end up one-punching it, sending it soaring in the sky as they finally take it down. Also, Leonardo falling from the sky, landing safely in the net Zap made. I knew it. I knew this dude was suspicious. Why is he with the ops sharing dinner? So yeah, they are cooking up a sinister plan. Probably something about destroying New York. I never understood why villains want to destroy the very place they're living on. Like, bro, go pick up a book and help society. Later that night, Leonardo decides to go with Ghost Girl. And he ends up telling her how he has a little sister, and she ends up telling him how she has an older brother. Basically bond with each other. Now meet Nedge. And yes, he just got boomed by a van in the first few seconds. But lucky for Nedge, aka Mushroom Man, which I'm going to be calling him. Lucky for Mushroom Man, he's an alien and this isn't something that would kill him. So in order to bribe him from them hitting him, they offer him some burgers and fries. But this event didn't just happen on day one. It also happened other days, and they end up taking full advantage of him and charging him triple the price because he wanted somebody to go get burgers and fries for him. They were basically a modern day DoorDash. So Leonardo obviously couldn't sit by and watch this happen. So he ends up befriending the Mushroom Man and going to get the burgers and fries for him for the natural price. They end up becoming closer friends as Mushroom Man tells him that his mom doesn't remember giving birth to him and that he doesn't have any family or friends. I'm not gonna lie, Mushroom Man, being lame on the alien side and being lame on the human side, it's tough. Trust me, I understand the pain too. I'm part LeBron, part Curry, part Jordan, and a part-time NAN user. Remember those two dudes that ran over the Mushroom Man? So yeah, they owe the Mafia some money and they were finessing Mushroom Man in order to get extra money in order to pay it off. But they are running out of time and this man literally pisses on himself inside of the car.
I'm sorry.
No, you straight, you straight.
Man, I'm sorry.
Once again, they hit the Mushroom Man and this man starts beating all types of combos on the Mushroom Man. Forces some gas to explode out of his head, which made everyone forget all of the memories they had within the past few hours, which gives this guy an idea on how to make the Mafia bosses forget about their debt. And they end up kidnapping not only Leonardo, but the Mushroom Man too. And they start beating the Mario coins out of the Mushroom Man. But Leonardo tells them that it's because of the gas that makes people forget stuff. So he tries to hold it in and then they start beating on Leonardo. And this makes Mushroom Man finally explode. And it was even worse than the first time, which makes Mushroom Man and Leonardo forget all about each other. Until this man gets hit by a car all over again and they reintroduce themselves to each other. Not going to lie, this episode was so beautiful. A real one almost started to get emotional seeing what they were doing to the Mushroom homie. The memories were so deep, even just him buying them burger just started to make him cry, even though he didn't know why. So the man from the subway finally introduced himself to Leonardo as Black, and he's the Ghost Girl's big brother. And Leonardo was like,
Hey man, I didn't see you in the subway and you were talking about vampires and stuff.
Nah man, I'm just Black. Which not for 1 second I don't believe him, because he was confused about it because Black generally did not remember ever meeting Leonardo. So him and Black end up going to the burger spot and talking and bonding over the similarities they have with their sisters. Until Black shows you he has powers because he stopped Hot Coffee from hitting Leo.
Yo, big dog, they jumping me on everything I love. They jumping me. That's why I got caught. Send the entire squad.
Yeah, Zap had ended up getting captured by some underground fight arena and Leo and Klaus went to go get him.
Good evening, my good sir. Shall we squabble for me to get in, bod man?
And then they throw down for a second before he lets him in. And it's just an all-out war zone going on. People throwing money, alien hus, and human hus, and even Klaus getting pushed into the ring to fight. And after these events, Klaus just got even more lit in my books.
Okay, aliens and alienettes. We have a level 10 human with luscious yellow hair versus a man that's the leader of Libra and has the most ugly beard I've ever seen. Place your bets in, people.
So the first dude gets ready to throw down and gets smacked out the way by an even larger and bigger monster. But Klaus starts mixing up Crab Man before booming his head straight down and finish him off. He just started going through the rankings. He did so good that even the boss had to pull up on him. The boss immediately charges, and I know this 800 pounds of flesh running into you head on didn't feel too good. They start going back and forth with the hands before clashing, and they are both even. The boss tried to hit a 1-2 as both blows gets blocked and the third one gets dodged. Look at the technique, using his shoulders to block before throwing it straight as the boss showed his dance moves also. But notice, this entire time, he's only using one hand. So the boss starts wailing on him, hitting him with all type of heavy haymakers, forcing Klaus to finally use his other hand. And the punch explodes this man's head off. The entire time, this thing was actually a vampire in disguise, as it literally lifted this man up like he was a sheet of paper, looked this man dead in his soul, and blasted him in the top of the cage like it was nothing. Luckily, these vampires had no need in killing Klaus for some reason, and they ended up being able to head home. But as Leo was heading home, he saw Black and ended up giving him a ride, and yep, I knew it. Look look at the personality switch. This is another high power level zombie, one of the original 13 kings, the king of depravity. Blank. 3 years ago, a terrible disaster happened that opened the portals to a whole new world, and casters protected New York in order to close the barrier, because it would have covered the entire world. And two of these casters was Black and White's mom and dad, who had ended up dying in order to seed on the mission. So the team ends up getting a distress call saying a bloodline stream has been opened and Bloodbreed is throwing down with the hunter. All things that I have no clue about, but I'm sure this stuff will get expanded on in season 2. And look at the Blockade and how they pulled open before two entities came out fighting each other, and they were fighting hard, sending off multiple explosions in the city, not letting up for a single second. Even this little girl was about to get burned to a crisp before Steven came in and saved the day, and looking like some, you ladies alright? At first, they did not know which was the enemy and which was an ally, so they used mirrors because I think this is a vampire type of monster or something. But they ended up double teaming it, and the thing is, he just came right back before the other guy had to come in and help using the same abilities that Zap uses. This is actually Zap's master, and his power level is on a whole nother level. He even forced Zap to do some more training and finally steal the monster. But Zap didn't want to do it at first until he heard this.
Hello? Oh, hey, Angelica. No, it's fine. I'm not busy at all. What's up? Huh. Really? You're burning with passion and you don't know what to do. You want that silver-haired, bronze-skinned Casanova to ravish your body? Just thinking about it's got you wet and twitchy with desire?
While this was all going on, Black ends up confirming to us he doesn't remember anything that happens after he has his personality switch. So since we are here, let's start off with the backstory. So Black and White, when they were young, weren't always the best of friends, but he was the older brother, and he never wanted to use his powers until he became more powerful on his own to protect his sister. Which, let's be honest, makes no sense because it's your powers. Like, okay, little bro. So on the day of the collapse, just like how the monster came to Leo, the same thing happened to Black and his sister, and instead of her dying, her parents basically turned her into a barrier so she didn't die. And the king of depravity ended up having someone as a host to take over their body. Quick backstory. Yes, I know. So the job wasn't fully finished with the Bloodbreed because that was only half of his body sealed. Oh, where's the other half, you ask? Yeah, the master has sitting on a plane, which ends up crashing to a building as they go to fight it, and Leo starts figuring out the true name of the beast, so they get silly. And not only that, but meet another student of the master's. His name is Zeb. They start taking on the Bloodbreed and it starts to power up, burning a hole in the ceiling as it starts chasing after its other body part to regain its full power. Before Zed and Zap hit it with that student combo ultimate attack as Klaus comes in and seals it, saving the day once again. And then Zap master just leaves and says Zed is now in Libra.
Hey, what's going on, small human man? It's not safe for someone like you to walk in an alleyway all alone with such a nice-looking jacket.
Kick rocks. Let me ask you something. Red light. Now let's play a game. You beg for your life, and I make you go boom boom. And right after he got done acting like King Von, he made White set up Leo to take his eyes and use them to start another collapse. Plus, once again, Leo got kidnapped, and the king starts to put his plans into motion as the city once again starts to collapse as we figure out that White is actually the barrier and they must find her at all costs. And I'm not gonna lie, this is a plus R for this scene right here. It's nothing like a good old classic flex while you watch everything get destroyed. I mean, things were all bad. Zombies in the street, aliens leaking out, all types of stuff going on. Leo gets told that White is at the top of this monstrosity, and Klaus and Black are throwing hands. I mean, look at them boys looking like supernatural beings. I told you guys, this city is worse than Avenger levels threats. But Klaus eventually ends up running out of stamina first and can't really match the power of Black. But before he can finish him off, Leo uses Naruto Talk no Jutsu and reaches Black in her mind and talks to White to help her save her brother. And only woman Leo has love ends up sacrificing herself in order to stabilize the barrier and help her brother get his sanity back. Which leads us to the end of Blockade Battlefront. What an amazing show. Type in the comment section. Do y'all want me to cover season 2?